Hello, my name is Tina. Welcome to my channel. Today I would like to talk about forgiveness, and precisely that forgiveness is something that is used by the Matrix in a very widespread way, something that creates feeling of guilt in us, because we are told constantly you have to forgive, okay, no matter what happened to you, no matter what others did to you, okay, and you just have to move on because we're learning lessons here, blah blah, right? um, the bottom line is that there is no forgiveness learned through being abused, okay? And yet, well, religion, like, Catholic religion says that only God is there to judge, and who are you not to forgive? You have to forgive because otherwise it's a sinful thing to do if you just, don't accept what happens to you. And if you really press for some answers, they always tell you, oh, Jesus suffered too, and all that stuff. Well, I got a big problem with all that forgiveness business, because there are situations and basically crimes committed against some people that it's simply impossible to find any forgiveness in your heart and move on from, right? Why is it so important that we are pressed, almost brainwashed, to believe that we have to, that we must forgive? Well, there is a big agenda behind it, basically. I mean, strictly speaking, it's part of the system here. System wants you to be complying, forgiving, accepting, that you're not supposed to question anything, because they want you to be good, and they want you to follow all the protocols and all the rules that you are born into, and you're not supposed to question all that, because who are you, You're just nobody here, and there are those who know better than you. Well, it's time perhaps to start asking serious questions. Why shouldn't we be asking those questions? Why? Okay. This is a good question, okay? Because unless you start asking questions, you are being nothing like but some sort of robot, really, that doesn't have their own mind and their own way of expression, and their own assertiveness. So how can you possibly learn any lessons, okay, through being abused? Okay, how can you? They say you're learning lessons, okay. What sort of lessons is there? There isn't any. I mean, I've been abused for many years of my life. I've mentioned into several videos already, and I haven't learned one single lesson through it, except being really angry at what happened to me, and I demand justice, absolutely, and I feel that everybody else should do the same on their level. It all depends how what happened makes you feel, obviously, because there are some little crimes and bigger crimes. So yes, I mean, it is important to take this situation into your own hands and put it on the scale how much is affecting you, because I haven't personally met anybody in my life who was not affected by being abused, okay. I mean, especially when you've been abused all your childhood, like I was. So it is very difficult just to move on and say, oh, I forgive, and doesn't matter, it's been a long time ago. It doesn't matter how long it's been ago. If there's no justice done, if the abuser's gotten away with it, there's no lessons learned, they have to face it one day, really. I mean, nobody gets away with anything, in my opinion, unless you allow that to happen. You see, this is why the Matrix wants you to let it go and move on, because um, I want to say one thing here. We are being reincarnated constantly here until we wake up, until we have deep enough awareness as to what is going on in here to stop this recycling, okay? So those who don't have a clue are being recycled, reincarnated again and again, and each time you are born here, just before you come here, your memory is being wiped, and you are given new, usually quite bad life script to follow, because no life here is easy. So there's always challenges, difficulties, and all sort of things that um, cause you stress, cause you lots of worry, anxiety. Lots of people become very ill because of that. So that alone is very, very challenging. And yet we are exposed to behavior of others, and we have to accept it, we have to agree, because we're learning lessons, hello, right? So yes, this is very, very wrong. Um, no, you can't learn anything except now if you're honest with yourself, uh, put everything away for a moment. Let's say you've been accepted until now, okay, that what happened to you, there was a reason behind it, okay, because you are New Agey, and this is what New Agers would say. There's reason behind everything, okay, they justify evil that way. They justify what happens in the name of some sort of lessons that you're supposed to be growing spiritually, that you're supposed to be evolving spiritually, which is absolutely ridiculous, a ridiculous concept. I mean, really. They want you to think that way, so it's easier for you, so you lay back, so oh, everything has a reason, there's a purpose for everything, so it's okay, really. And that's why you're being recycled, because you haven't worked it out what is really going on. You're producing also lots of bad energy when you suffer in here, okay? And that energy, it's called lush, and that lush energy goes somewhere. So somebody is consuming this energy, it's scooping it up, really, because it's necessary for them. I'm talking about guys from astral, lower astral level, the whole crew that runs this show. There's lots of them. Those are parasitic entities, and they usually represent different religions in here, different sects, different systems, this kind of entities we talk about. And yes, the whole system needs energy to operate, and through the recycle, through the complicated life scripts and horrific abuse that people go through, we produce lots of negative energy. And I would like to say, I also mentioned that before, that it's not just negativity here, also intense joy, that anything that makes you exhaustingly tired, that sometimes when you're very happy, you feel, oh my goodness, that was draining that day. It was challenging, fantastic, but I feel so tired now. That also produces energy, okay? And it's also considered a lush energy, okay, that they use it too. So no matter what you do in here, basically, you are producing the energy. You are like a battery that each time you are born, that battery is being recharged, and through events of your life, slowly through that battery, your energy is being drained, and then of course recycle begins again, unless you wake up. So this is basically, strictly speaking, an overall picture what is going on. I'm sure there is lots more to it, lots more. I don't know the details, unfortunately. I'm only pointing out for what I notice, and the details are difficult to get by, because I simply don't have access to those details. How does this work, this production of this lush energy, and how it's being used? But everything points to it. Everything points to it, that somebody needs us here desperately, because there's too much deception. I mean, they need that consent. They need a, okay, I agree to this or that. before they can trap you here and use you and abuse you. And meanwhile, you are being pushed into the territory where you lose your memory, your identity, who you really are. I mean, through the memory wipe, that this is number one step when it happens. And then, of course, through the system that is indoctrinating you, that is programming you, all the aspects of you, how you should behave, how you should think, what you should believe, what you shouldn't do, and they're pushing this also, this structure of authority as well, which is ridiculous, because I would like to say now that I don't go by any authority, and that goes both physical world or the world beyond. I don't go by no masters, no gods, no deities, no gurus, no teachers, no guides, nothing. None of that crowd has nothing to do with me. I ditched that belief. This is basically belief-based stuff. Yes, if you believe in it, you supporting the system, and you feeding the system with your belief. Again, you channeling certain energy towards it. Also, yeah, I'm a believer. I follow up. Without you, I can't go. I really, do anything for you. And yes, it's an energy producing system in here. Through your beliefs, they get attached to you. Those I call them energy vampires, or they simply are parasitic entities that use us for whatever reason. I believe they are AIs almost. They cannot produce their own energy, and they cannot create like we can. We have ability to create, but they don't. So they need us. There's many others probably ways that they need us. And as I say, this is overall picture what I see, that I would like to point out today. And there's lots more. I listen to what other people have to say. My mind is open. I'm a seeker, but I'm a very open-minded seeker as well. I accept other people's ideas because we all have different perspectives. And it's nice to see that there's more and more of people like myself who make videos up there, and people waking up basically. There's quite a few people up there that can see also what is going on. I say quite a few. I mean, it's a small percentage, but it's getting better, a little bit better, because we have internet these days. Anybody can have access to the internet. We have books, There's lots of things you can do if you are a seeker. If you ask questions, there's many sources that you can look into and deepen your understanding and whatever knowledge you can find. So yeah, I mean, this is very it's so obvious, I'm talking about today's subject, about that suffering, and cannot be really justified here, because there's no lessons learned through suffering. So and forgiveness really cannot take place in this situation, because again, I mean, it's all about balancing. Okay, balancing is if somebody does something that drains you, that hurts you, okay, that took something from you, that means they owe you something. Okay, that's they're creating a debt. Some call it karma, but I don't believe in karma here, because there's no such a thing that karma exists. Karma is a term that New Agers use, and many few religions use as like an aspect to justify your coming back here, reincarnating again and again, because you supposedly done something in your previous life that you have to pay off in this one. But what good it is if your memory is wiped and you are born here, and how are you supposed to pay something you did in a previous life when your memory is wiped and you don't remember what you're paying for, So there's lots of speculation and guessing here, honestly, but reincarnation is real, reincarnation exists, and people have to realize that The only way to snap out of it is to get a bit of education, okay? And what I mean by that, it's do some research, guys, honestly. There's information available there that you can find out for yourself, okay? Um, and any questions you may have, you can get some answers or deepen your understanding, through reading a little bit, watching what other people have to say about it. Um, yes, this is the kind of this thing, the forgiveness learned, the lessons learned through forgiveness, through being abused, and it's like um, it's ridiculous, okay? It is ridiculous because we're talking about justice in here as well. We're talking about something that needs to be balanced out, and again, I mean, I made a video about it that justice is something that is in our own hands because there's nobody else that is going to do it for you. You are responsible for your own well-being, for your own safety, for your own feeling secure and feeling all, and nobody else is going to do it unless you do it. So yeah, I mean, please, guys, look into it. Do a little bit of research for yourself, and also analyze your own existence, your own life. How does it make you feel? If perhaps you have been hurt by someone or something, okay? What have you learned? I mean, I'm talking about learning. There's not much learning, really, if something happens to you, okay, that you've been hurt, that means crime has been committed, okay? What can you learn through somebody else's hurting you and committing crime against your person, okay? You can be justified as being angry, pissed off, as you can demand justice, okay? That's all you can do, really. But as for learning, I mean, studying the New Age philosophy, they all promote this, that you have to forgive, that you have to leave it behind, that you're learning something, that your soul is growing. No, none of this is happening at all. Not at all. I mean, I've been there myself, and I haven't grown. I don't feel like my soul has grown, that I have been uplifted spiritually somewhere because something bad was done to me, really. So yes, I mean, if you're being honest, guys, with yourself, you may come to the very similar conclusions, okay? So please do some research, because I'm doing my videos from my point of view, what I managed to observe within my own personal life, or observing other people's. It's a fascinating study, but at the same time, it's extremely tragic that we have to dig into those things. That those things take energy, a time, and we just get involved in something that drags us down, basically. Because even talking about things that somebody commits crime or so against us, that drags us down too. So again, it's all about how you approach this. I've learned to look at it like this. Uh, since I am not able to provide justice while here, because of the things that happened long time ago to me, I will deal with it when the time is right and when I'm in the right spot and place. And it's very likely in astral reality. That's what my belief is, that I'll be able to do something with it. And then again, I'm not going to participate like personally, because I'm just going to create situation for those who did something to me, such that it's going to be similar to what they did to me, that they at least feel how I felt. So there's different ways of looking at those things, really, and everybody has their own way This is mine, yours could be different. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please take care for now. That will be it for today. Take care. Bye bye.